Rumor mill is afloat, and it's getting real spicy regarding our Detroit Lions. Why is this taking place? Because the NFL Combine is happening right now. All the personnel are together. They're all talking. We got free agency literally right around the corner and the NFL draft following that. In this video, we're going to cover some of these rumors. First off, we're going to start with, are the Detroit Lions aggressively pursuing Allen Robinson, wide receiver from the Chicago Bears? We'll talk about it because reports are suggesting they are. Did Jamal Williams spill the beans on Tracy Walker, potentially re-signing with the Detroit Lions? The Detroit Lions, could they trade Jared Goff because the Washington Commanders called, and Lions potentially could trade out of the number 2 pick? Reports suggest they're definitely willing to. Also, we're talking about how Dan Campbell talked about going from a 3-4 and adding more of a 4-3. But before we get into this video, if you think it's a real smart idea to go be looking for treasure in a porta potty, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Sometimes being a Lions fan, it can get messy. Also, make sure you take that like button with you and let that bad boy get grossed out. Let's get into today's Lions rumors. Dan Campbell press conference, and he talked about how he would like the Detroit Lions go from a 3-4 to more of a 4-3 scheme-wise and have more plays from that aspect. What does that mean? Why is it important for the Detroit Lions? Because we got the NFL draft coming up, folks. In the NFL draft, there's 2 prospects for edge that the Detroit Lions have been linked to for a long time. Kayvon Thibodeau, 3-4, he could play outside linebacker, he could get up front. He's a universal player. But then you got Aiden Hutchinson, the local boy. He's the prototypical 4-3 edge, getting after the quarterback, that type of player. So it has implications from there, the type of linebackers we potentially could pursue in free agency and in the draft. We're going to monitor this situation, but I do like going to a 4-3 more. I've always been a 4-3 guy. That's just the way it is for me. We got to see what they do in free agency to really get an implication of what's going to happen there. But before we get to the next topic, let me know, would you trade Jared Goff? And if so, let me know in the comment section why for yes and for no, as well as what type of comp you'd want to get. I talked to Lomas Brown last night. He don't think it's a smart idea. Lions probably should stay with him, and they end up trading him. Seems highly unlikely, but rumors are floating because of the Washington Commanders, and we're going to get into that in a couple minutes. The Detroit Lions reportedly willing to trade out of the number 2 pick. That is not really a big deal because it seems like every year we want to trade out of the pick, but could it possibly happen this year? Well, if Evan Neal, or an offensive lineman, goes first, maybe a team would love to get Ike Ekwonu, the offensive lineman, as well. Team that really needs help on the offensive line, and there's a couple teams out there with multiple draft picks, at least in the first round, that could do that. Talk about the New York Giants, 5-7 right there. Would they willing to drop a first-round pick to get up to the second pick to secure an offensive lineman because they're so great? And same with the New York Jets. They need help with the offensive line as well, and I think it'd be a sound idea to make a trade if potentially they could get another first-round pick added to it. It would be really important to help out this team depth. There's a lot of good players that you can get. We're talking about a Kyle Hamilton, talking about you could get Drake London if you want to go that route, Nakobe Dean. A lot of good players out there that if you picked up another pick, you could select and really help this team out for the big haul. Now let's get into the pinned comment question. The Washington Commanders, they called the Detroit Lions potentially for a trade. What was said? What was basically rumored to be given for it? Well, they called up, and the Lions said they would like a first-round pick per rumors if they were to trade Jared Goff to the Washington Commanders. Now, I don't think that's possible. Why would the Washington Commanders want to get Jared Goff when there's other quarterbacks they potentially could get who is better than that? Rumored, and apparently also stated, that the Lions would be willing to take a second-round pick. If this is the case, then the Lions are going to have to get a quarterback. What would be the options for this? Well, you can go ahead and draft your quarterbacks. Malik Willis out of Liberty. If they did a trade-back scenario, that could be a possibility. Sam Howell, if he is available at the 32nd pick. They could look at a Kenny Pickett, the small hams himself. I'm not a big fan of it. And Matt Corral as well out of Ole Miss. those guys, Sam Howell and Corral, probably be there at 32. They can also look at options in free agency. You got Marcus Mariota, the quarterback out of the Raiders. I think he would be a solid option, but the issue is he's always injured. Do you really want him to be the starter? Mitchell Trubisky, the Buffalo Bills quarterback, free agent. He actually was obviously with the Bears for a long time, but he looked really good for the Bills. They could make a trade, I guess, for a Jimmy Garoppolo from the San Francisco 49ers. That would be possible. It still doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. You're basically trading the same quarterback for the same quarterback. And also Carson Wentz, it looks to be on the trade block as well. I really don't want to have that option for an injured player. Me personally, I think you just go ahead and stay with Jared Goff. I don't think a team's going to willing to give up a first-round pick, so that means you'd be giving up a second-round pick. Unless you're really sold on one of these quarterbacks in the draft, I think that is probably not the smartest idea to trade away something that's already been here for a year for a quarterback that you're going to have start immediately. I think a Malik Willis or Sam Howell, I think they need to sit a little bit and learn before. But, hey, we got to get these notification bells up. Right now, again, I'm at 16%. The end of the week, I would love to be at 19%. Let's get those notifications so you don't miss out on the latest news and rumors regarding our Detroit Lions. You hit that bell, you're not going to miss out, and that's the important part. Now let's get into a crazy rumor right now, and that is that Allen Robinson potentially could be a big target for the Detroit Lions. Now, it's not just on one site, it's on multiple sites that the Lions are urged to unload the pocketbook to acquire his services. Now, this one's really interesting to me because when you look at his stats last year, obviously I'm not really worried about the stats because he was injured quite a bit. He got 38 receptions, 410 yards, 1 touchdown, and 10.8 average. Obviously, that's not the greatest. But we know when healthy, we know with a good offense, he can be really good. Obviously, the offense in Chicago was absolutely cheeks last year, and he is a very, very good wide receiver. We've seen what he did in Chicago and Jacksonville before that, being dynamic. He is 28 years old. It's something that I guess that maybe they would want to have a veteran in the group. It definitely would be a number one wide receiver. It would open it up for Monroe St. Brown, for TJ Hawkinson. You would have a solid solution there. I don't really want to overpay, though, for any player, for any wide receiver, so it really depends on the compensation here, because if you watched the NFL Combine last night and you've seen the 40 times, it seemed like every player was doing a sub 4.4. It was freaking amazing. A lot of really good dynamic wide receivers out there. Man, so you could pick up some wide receivers in the draft who are young, and it can help your team immediately. But I'm not going to be sour on the idea of going after Allen Robinson because we need that help. What also I'm not going to be sour on is you guys go ahead and downloading Lions Nation Unite app, lionsnationunite.com. It's an absolutely good app made by Herman Moore for fans. A great way to communicate, a great way to socialize. You can do giveaways. It's just a fun time. You can also follow them on Twitter, Lions Nation U, as well as the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to it, Lions Nation Unite. Also, rumors are flying out right now. Some crazy rumors because of our guy, Jamal Williams did this tweet here. Jamal Williams says, "Hey, can't wait to go back to war with my dog T. Walker," with a bunch of angry faces and a fist pump. He is ready to roll. A very charged faces, not angry, but charged like a bull. And it's definitely possible that the Lions could basically have this thing wrapped up here. And it was not just his tweet that sparked this. There was other articles coming out that sources stated that it's getting really close, and or it could be, on the hush-hush down a little bit. But it makes a lot of sense. Tracy Walker is a very good player. We need help at the safety position. I just don't want to overspend for Tracy Walker. That is my issue here. How much did they put in to get him? What would the contract be? Because we don't have a whole lot of money right now in free agency. And if we are going after an Allen Robinson, or if we are going after a Marcus Williams, you got to be able to be fiscally sound as well. But if it's a good deal, if it's not breaking the bank, I think it would be solid. Depends how many years as well. What is the contract? How many years? What's the bonus? Everything regarding the cap. We'll see if it occurs, if this is a done deal. We'll see what it is and everything going forward. Let me know in the comment section below. Would you be okay with the idea of re-signing Tracy Walker? Y for yes, N for no. That is definitely going to be a comment for this video. Got to see what the fan base thinks. Also, I want to talk about how this channel is all about dropping awesome Detroit Lions content. So if you have not been here before, make sure you subscribe. I drop videos 5 to 6 times a week. We do a live show on Thursday. It's called the One Pride Podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions, news and rumors. You don't even have to be a Lions fan as well to be on this channel. So you want to talk about your team, maybe you're a Minnesota Vikings team, you go drop that on Thursday when we go live. We will talk about it. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest NFL and Lions rumors going forward. Also, I got a really good video dropping on tomorrow. It's going to be the mailbag segment. And next week, Thursday, is a really good one because we have a guest on from Chat Sports, my guy Chase from the 49ers. With that said, folks, I'm going to leave you with the greatest words ever spoken. Adios.